This is not my story. I found it by accident or by serendipity. You can decide. It came to me in January. From my living room, I could see discarded Christmas trees on the street below. Once, they stood tall and green, cherished centerpieces of someone's home. Now, they slumped, lifeless against the pavement, brittle and unloved. The stillness of those cast-off trees sent a shiver through me. In their dried needles, I saw myself, used, discarded. I'd always yearned for a wide-open kind of life, no boundaries. I was the adventurous one, wanting to see what was just around the next corner, try new things, live the biggest life I could. I lived on 4 continents, traveled to more than 40 countries, served as a Peace Corps volunteer in Zambia, ran marathons, hiked breathtaking mountains. Until one day, it all ended. I collapsed in my shower and was taken to the ER. That was the start of a chronic, mysterious illness that lasted 2 decades. More than 20 debilitating symptoms left me bedridden, hallucinating, and being spoon-fed to stay alive. My heart rate raced up to 190 beats per minute at rest. I saw more than 50 doctors, endured hundreds of treatments. Living large was no longer an option. And death, that was close by, a constant knocking, almost taking me 9 times. The worst part, no one really knew why. Those unwanted Christmas trees and me, we had something in common. I had felt a lot of love and also felt thrown away by society, by doctors, even some friends and family, but mostly by myself. For the past few years, I'd been clawing my way back to life, no longer trapped in my home, no longer being spoon-fed, still without a clear diagnosis, but healing slowly. Being a writer, I wanted my words to take me back out into the world again, to make a difference. I'd crafted pages, many read, appreciated even, and some left in drawers and deep in computer files. Did any of it matter? Did I matter? A trash truck's blare yanked me from my thoughts. I shook my head, trying to rattle the melancholy out through my ears, and I grabbed my phone. Time to do something ordinary. I was signing up for a new water delivery service. 2 rings, then a cheery male voice said, "Hello, how can I help you today?" A wave of delight surged through me. This guy sounded so joyful. "Hi, you always answer the phone this upbeat?" "Yes, of course. I'm a happy guy." "Oh, yeah? What makes you so happy?" He chuckled. "It's because I know my life purpose." This conversation was starting to take a weird turn. But I was part cat, curious to a fault. I didn't know what to expect, but I tucked in my earbuds. "So you going to tell me?" His voice grew brighter, like he was reciting a scientifically verified truth. "My life purpose is to hold on to things till someone who needs them comes along." Wait, what? Not the answer I was expecting. I started to wonder what was in the water he was selling. "I'm a fixed point in reality, a placeholder. Everything I have in my life, I'm just holding it until it's needed. It's a perpetual pay it forward. Skills, knowledge, friendship, I've got it to give. Here's a car. I don't need it because I have 2. You need it so you can get to your job, so take it." Fascinating. I imagine this unseen man with an aura of affable bravado lingering around him. "It's normal to me," he said, describing how he gave things away. Rides, jobs, even money he'd leave on the street. After 10 minutes, he laughed like a timer had gone off. Guess we should get you some water. I'm Mark. You are? I'm Cherie. I wanted to know more. Why he felt so certain about his purpose, where it came from. I wondered if I had ever been that certain about anything in my life. After placing my order, we exchanged numbers. Mark said he'd call me on his day off on Sunday. For 3 days, one question plagued me. What was my purpose? Sunday afternoon, my phone rang. Mark, right on cue. Hey, you ready, Cherie? Absolutely. He launched right in. When someone needs something, I give it to them. I used to get frustrated about losing things, but now it's easy because I know what it means to not have, to need. I was on the streets, homeless, with my ma. We had nothing. My ma got sick from asbestos when I was 16, barely survived. I worked fast food, but it wasn't enough. I started selling weed via the drive-thru at Burger King, but it real quick got out of hand. I couldn't care for my ma if I was in jail, so I stopped dealing. But then I couldn't pay rent. We had nowhere to go. My grandma gave me a blanket and $50. My aunt gave us 2 nights in a motel. I was too ashamed to ask friends. One day, we were walking the beach, trying to find a place to sleep. I saw a dolphin in the water. Thought, if we're going to be homeless, why not at the beach? Homeless in Oceanside. We learned quick how to survive, found out a lot about laws. Cops can't arrest you if you have a fishing pole in your hand. Get a fishing pole on the pier, they can't do anything to you. I didn't like fish, but I ate it. I was hungry. I closed my eyes. I had known mountains of pain and fear, but I'd never been without a home. I glanced at my kitchen, minimalist, but more than enough. A pang of guilt rose, the kind I'd felt traveling, seeing people without enough food, knowing I'd truly never gone without it. Mark kept going. Being homeless got easy. Cold food, cold body, time's irrelevant. You're just living, out of the cage. But there's a price for that kind of freedom, the kind thrust on you. The world rushing on while you exist on the sidelines. I got a job, but when I left, my ma got jumped, twice. Teenagers busted her lip, broke a tooth, stole her blanket. I couldn't leave her again, so we'd stay homeless. And we never begged. We didn't ask anybody for anything, but that water, that kept us alive. His words transported me to the ocean. Its vast impermanence, how small I always felt next to it. How easy it would be to disappear in the time it takes for a wave to break. I could picture it, the loneliness, feeling trapped in a freedom he didn't want. Mark and I were strangers, but in that moment, I felt like we'd met in some other life. Mark's voice cut through my thoughts. But the answer to life is not at the water or in the cage. A situation is just a situation. It's about being like water, fluid, rolling with whatever comes. Even I need that reminder. After 18 months, we got off the street. Soon the tick-tock of structure started again, but on our terms. We knew who we were, where we'd been. The world has been conditioning us that we're victims, but we're not. Ultimately, we're powerful beings. How we handle a situation is what matters. Now, 15 years later, I've got a job, my own apartment, a wife, my mom's better, and I've got friends. That's value. I don't value things. Stuff is forgiving. People confuse want and need. My breath caught. Tears welled. The beauty of his words lit a spark in me. As much as I wanted a purpose, what I needed was everything I had. Shelter, food, water, loved ones, and after all of my years of suffering, healing. A lightness replaced the hollowness I'd felt. Mark, your life is beautiful. Where you've been, who you are. Thanks, but it's just me. I'm not afraid of losing anything. I know what I'd do. Being homeless was the most important time of my life. After 3 hours, I thanked him for letting me in, for showing me the rawest parts of himself. Mark simply said, "No problem. I've got it to give." We hung up, two humans, both thirsty for life in our own ways. My ears were hot, my brain blurred, my heart full. I stood, wiped my tears with my shirt sleeve, and I stepped out onto my balcony. The fresh midday air filled my lungs. On the hill by the lake, a gray heron took flight. Its expansive wings lifted in surges of purity and grace. Its long body reflected in the whispering navy water beneath the sunlight. I wondered what I had to give. And then it hit me, what had just transpired. Mark was right. His life purpose was to be a placeholder. He held on to his story until the right person came along. And me, I collect stories. As I said, this isn't my story, but now, just like Mark, it has a home. Thank you.
Give it up for Cherie Kephart.